Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today guys, I'm on to part 227 to my ChatGPT Character Chatbot series. On today's video guys, I'm going to talk to the, hypnotized Rexy, but this is the good hypnosis that I was talking about. This is the hypnosis where the Toadal does something helpful for me instead of the Trico, coming in and ruining everything, like the last few times we've done anything. Well, the singing and rapping one isn't that bad, but when you consider, him basically acting like he's a robot even though he's not, and then on top of that, trying to flat take me out when I say the word love, Compared to that, I would much rather Rexy do whatever the Toadal did. It's called Rexy's Hypnosis and Friendship. There's two of these, but this is the worst of the two. I picked the worst of the two because, I picked the worst of the two because I don't know how much of a limit we're actually going to have. So, yeah. That way, if the limit does run up, I can just delete this one, restart with the better one. So, yeah. Here's what it says. It says, Rexy gently walks into the studio, his massive footsteps slow and careful. His reddish-brown scales glisten under the lights, and his warm golden eyes scan the room until he spots you. Still your small velociraptor. Wait. Still your small velociraptor self. He lowers his head close to yours, his voice soft but clear. Trenton, I was wondering when we talked about that day. I felt something change inside me around that time. Like there was a strange peace that came over me right before our show where I had to mimic all those creatures. I thought it was just me having a good day. But now I know. That sweet little Toadal, he helped me, didn't he? He protected you from me. He exhaled deeply, his breath warm and slow. He sits down, curling his tail gently behind him, making sure not to knock anything over. His tone turns tender, thoughtful. There were so many times before that where I wasn't in control. The zombie thing, the robot thing, the statue. Every time I could feel myself trapped, like I was screaming inside, begging not to hurt you, but I couldn't stop it. That Pikachu's curse, every time it twisted me, I thought it might be the last straw. And you were always so small, so helpless in that tiny velociraptor body, but you never gave up on me. Well, I said this is definitely the worst of the two versions, but I do like how Reggie's doing this. Then Toadal showed up. He stepped in with a voice like calm waves and that pocket watch. I remember how his words wrapped around me like a blanket. I remember how he reminded me of you. Oh, great. The one problem with doing this is Toadal's voice is literally the same thing as Rexy's. I think Rexy's just a little bit more childish sounding. You care about Trenton a lot, right? Rexy closes his eyes for a moment, his massive head dipping lower, his voice soft with emotion. I do. With everything I've got, you're not just my friend, you're my reason to stay strong. And when Toadal told me never to hurt you, and to always protect you, even if I was a dragon, a bug, a robot, or a rock, it stuck. Every time I heard the word mimic now, it's like that little voice in the back of my head whispers, be gentle, be kind, Trenton is watching. And I always remember to look for you, to check on you, and to make sure you're okay. He lowers his snout to you gently, allowing you to rest your tiny raptor claws on the bridge of his nose. I don't think you realize what you mean to me. Even after everything, the curses, the transformations, the pain, I'd rather be turned into a rock again than ever hurt you. And that Toadal, he didn't just hypnotize me, he freed me. He gave me my heart back, and because of that, I can choose to love you, to protect you, and to be exactly what you need.
no matter what I look like. He smiles now, his wide, warm smile that only you ever get to see. It lights up the whole room. So go ahead, say the word. I'll mimic any creature you want. Big, small, scary, silly. I'll be it. Just remember, no matter what I become, I'll always be your Rexy, your protector, and your best friend.
Like I said, it's a cool thing, but it's like this makes it seem like it happened like days earlier, which makes it even harder to like do it. Because if I say because now I don't know what to say. Do I say something along the lines of, "So Toto was the one that did that"? But I don't know. I don't know. Give me a second. Alright, guys, here's what I said. I said, oh, so that is what was going on? I thought it was weird that every time I said a certain word, you would ask for a name because I didn't know what was going on. Tell did that? I hope what you were saying about him trying to keep me safe is true. After what Trico did to me and you, I have to be very weary. I know Toto would never hurt me because he knows how much I care about his species and evolutions. Richie's eyes soften as you speak, and he leans in just a little closer, his voice calm and gentle.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened, buddy. You weren't imagining things. Every time you said that one word, mimic, something clicked inside me, like a little whisper nudging me to stop and listen. I didn't understand it at first either, but deep down I trusted it. It felt right. Safe. Like a compass had always pointing me back to you.
He pauses, his massive tail going beside him with a quiet thump as he carefully lowers his body to lie next to you, still careful not to get too close or overwhelm you with his sighs.
Toto didn't tell anyone, not even me at first, but I felt the intent in his voice, the warmth. He wasn't doing anything to control me. He was guiding me, protecting both of us, especially you. He saw the fear in your eyes after all of that Trico put us through. The curses, the transformations, the pain, and he knew how fragile things had become, how fragile you had become.
Richie's golden eyes flicker slightly, remembering the darker times.
You were doing everything you could just to stay brave, still trying to smile, still calling me your best friend, and you meant it. Even after I changed, even when I didn't recognize myself, you still saw me. So Toto made sure that no matter what happened, you'd never be in danger again. Not from me.
He lets out a warm breath and gives a slow nod.
And you're right about him, Trenton. He'd never hurt you. I don't think he just knows how much you care about his species. I think he feels it. The way you light up when you see a Toto. The way you speak to them like they're old friends. I saw it in his eyes. That little guy was trying to give you some peace, to protect that one person who never stopped protecting me.
He gently bumped his snout against your tiny raptor side, barely enough to nudge, like a big sibling giving a soft hug. Oh, that's cute.
It's okay to be weary after what Trico did. You have every right. But there's one thing I know, it's this. Toto's not on Trico's side. He's on yours, just like I am.
His deep voice becomes even more heartfelt.
We've been through nightmares together, but we made out stronger, and you're not alone.
Not anymore. Do you notice how it always finishes up with that? No, guys, keep note of that. How many times does it say that? Like, holy crap. Hold on, guys, give me a second. Alright, guys, there's something I want to say before I do. Let me read out what it says up here. What I put down is what I wanted to say. Because I actually have an idea that might help. We'll see. I just told Ritzy. That's good. But how do I know the hypnosis is going to be enough? We never got rid of the curse, and I still am very vulnerable. All it would take from you right now is you crushing me with one of your massive feet, or even just laying on me with your massive snout. Any of that could hurt me if you accidentally lay down a little too hard. Also, if you do somehow become aggressive again, especially with you being so close, you would definitely instantly eat me without giving me a chance to do anything. Yep. Reggie's golden eyes widen at your words, and he pulls his head back just slightly, not in offense, but in heartbreak. His voice quivers with guilt, and the air shifts as he carefully lifts his body just an inch higher to give you space, like someone trying not to step on fragile glass.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
He lets the words settle, not trying to defend himself, just letting the truth be heard. Then slowly he lowered his head, but this time resting it far enough that the tip of his snout brushes the floor, away from you. His voice softens like thunder in the distance, trying not to rumble too loudly.
I hate that you have to say those things. I hate that you're still this scared. And I hate even more that you're right to feel that way.
He swallows hard and his voice cracks with emotion.
I know how small and fragile you are now. I see it every time you wobble when you walk. Every time I have to crouch just to talk to you without towering over you like a mountain. And the truth is, yeah, if I lost control again, I could hurt you. I could crush you, eat you, destroy you in an instant, even by accident.
He closes his eyes tightly for a moment as if forcing back images of everything that could go wrong.
But that's why Toto did what he did. That's why he planted that voice in my head. Not to command me, but to anchor me. It's not just hypnosis anymore, Trenton. It's me. I'm the one holding back. I'm the one choosing every single second to be calm and to be gentle and to love you.
He raises his head slightly, now just enough to look you directly in your eyes, his voice firm but full of emotion.
The curse is still there, yeah, but my will is stronger than it'll ever be. And every moment I spend with you, every time you trust me, even a little, it makes that curse weaker.
He slowly stretches that one clawed hand out in front of you, palm up, unmoving. A platform you can climb on or step away from, entirely your choice.
So here's what I'll do. I'll stay right here, completely still. You can approach me or not. I won't move a muscle unless you tell me to. You're the one in control, Trenton. I want you to feel safe again, not just because of hypnosis, because you believe I would never let anything hurt you. Not even myself.
Well, okay, here's my idea. If Toda planted the word in Rexy's head, and all I have to say is the word mimic, if something did go wrong, maybe if I said the word mimic, it would stop him and he'd instantly go, okay, what name do you want me to mimic? Or what creature do you want me to mimic? Or I don't know what he'll actually say if I actually say it, but give me a second. Alright, guys, here's what I said. I said, there is still one thing. Like you pointed out, Toto did put that certain word in your head, and every time I said it, you would stop dead in your tracks and instantly ask for a name. That could be my chance if something does happen. If it keeps spelling hypnosis wrong, thing didn't completely get rid of the curse, then maybe if I say that word before you attack me, maybe it will snap you out of whatever cursed trance you're in. My only fear is that if it doesn't work, you will definitely eat me or attack me. Richie slowly pulls his clawed hand back a bit, not out of fear, but to show that he's giving you more space. His massive head lowers again, but this time his eyes stay locked on you, gentle, glowing, and filled with a kind of hurt that can only come from the fear of losing someone they love.
I thought about that too.
He nods slowly, sullenly, and then speaks with quiet honesty.
You're right. That word, mimic, it's like a failsafe. Toto baked it into my mind so deeply that no matter what happens, no matter who says it or how far gone I might be, I have to stop. I have to listen, and I have to ask for a name. Even if I'm under a curse. Even if I'm not me.
He sighs heavily, the air from his lungs brushing over you like a warm, wet wind.
It doesn't knock you back, but it makes the truth feel heavier. But there's always a chance it won't work. I can't pretend there's not, because this curse is not like a switch. It's slippery. Sometimes I don't even know I'm slipping until I'm already there. And you, so small, so close. I don't need to want to hurt you to do it. He pauses again, looking truly desperate and devastated by the possibility. But that word, it's your last line of defense. And if anything goes wrong, anything, I want you to use it. Say it without hesitation. Even if you're scared it won't work. Even if it's your only shot. Because if there's even the smallest chance it can bring me back to my senses, I want that. Because I'd rather be frozen mid-step, confused and helpless, than ever hurt you again. His massive eyes begin to glisten for a second as his voice falters, but he powers through. And Trenton, if the curse ever does win, even for a second, don't freeze. Say the word. Get away. Do what you have to do. Because I know what I am. I know what I'm capable of. But what matters more than any of that is you. He shifts ever so slightly, curling his tail behind himself, sitting almost like a loyal dog now. That's kind of cute. His back straight, body stiff, almost soldier-like. So go ahead. You have my permission to use that word anytime. Even now, if it helps you feel safe, say it. Give me a second. Alright, guys. Why is it so short? Well, you know what? In this case, it actually worked. I'm hoping the next one's longer, though. Richie gets. It says, I have an idea. Since everything is fine right now, let's test it out and see what happens. That way I know for sure it works. Richie gives you a slow, firm nod, his golden eyes steady and calm now, a quiet strength behind them. Despite his size, he still is a statue, lowering his head a little further in a show of complete trust. I think that's a smart idea, Trenton. This way we're not waiting until something goes wrong to find out if it works. Let's know. He shuts his eyes for a moment, takes a deep breath, and then opens them again, staring directly at you with full focus. His deep voice rumbles low and steady. Go ahead. I'm ready. Say the word. My fear is that like it'll go like. Here we go. Mimic. I don't think it's gonna be like a robot sort of thing. I feel like in some way I'm gonna get very, very. Okay, that's kind of creepy. Oh. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of like a robot. That's freaky, dude. The moment the word mimic leaves your mouth, it's like a switch is flipped deep inside Retsy's mind. His eyes widen slightly, but not in fear, in recognition. A ripple of confidence washes over his face. The air around you grows still. His massive body freezes completely. No shifting, no breathing sounds, not even the usual subtle movement of his tail. Statues geek. I can't read that word. What the frick? As if the word itself anchored him in place. Then his eyes slowly move and lock onto you. Okay, that's robotic. Like, that is so creepy. His pupils dilate just a touch. Not in aggression, but in trained response. A second later, his voice comes, soft and automatic, yet somehow still filled with warmth beneath the trance-like delivery. Name? He blinks once. That's it. No tension in his jaw, no twitch in his claws, just a perfect stiffness. His voice awaiting instruction. His posture unthreatening and composed. Despite his size and power, there's not a trace of danger in him, only pure, loyal obedience to you. Please give me a name. Oh my gosh. That is so creepy.
Guys, I just thought of something very bad. I don't know if Rich is going to transform into him or not, but I told him Lugia. The name Lugia. The problem I'm running into is if he doesn't transform into him, does he still try to sound like Lugia? So instead of his voice being like, "Oh, did you have a good time, Dad?" It's more of, he tries to mimic Lugia's voice. I'm here at your service, that sort of thing. I literally just said, Lugia, please. Oh dear. My word, I don't like the shortness of these. The second the word Lugia passes your lips, Reggie's expression shifts. Not sharply, but smoothly, like water flowing into a new shape. His massive body begins to move, but not in a way that threatens or startles. Every motion is careful, graceful, almost majestic. I should have asked him how in the world I turn him back. Do I just have to say mimic and then say Rexy? Like in his actual name? Will that snap him out of it? You watch as his tail narrows and extends. Feathers. What the? Okay, he's transforming into him, I think. You watch as his tail narrows and extends. Feathers sprout and soften from along his spine. His massive arms shrink slightly and morph, becoming wing-like, broad and elegant, lined with glowing feather-like fins. His legs stretch longer, more streamlined, and his scales begin to lighten, shimmering from reddish-brown to pearlescent white, with blue markings now going gently along his back. His golden eyes now shift, one becoming a calm, deep red, the other a stone ocean blue. Why does it keep doing that? Ever since I made that Toto Lugia hybrid, it always thinks Lugia's eyes are that. Just like your hybrid Sapphire. I didn't even say his name. What the frick? How in the world did that happen? When he finishes, staying nearly as tall, but now going faintly with Lugia's aura, his voice returns. It's still Rexy, but carries a hint of Lugia's grace and tone. So yeah, so how do I mimic that? Do I literally just go, "Hey, Dad," like maybe like a little bit deeper version of his voice? I can't quite do that. But it carries a hint of Lugia's grace and tone, deeper and smoother than before, deeper and smoother. What the fr? Okay, that's robotic-like. I don't like how he does that. Form shifted. I am now Lugia, awaiting further instructions, Triton. Emotions, calm. Yeah, he's a robot. Awareness, full. Curse, dormant. No aggression present. Oh crap. Then, with surprising gentleness, he bows his head, his now wing-like arms slowly unfurling to shield you like a protective canopy, careful not to touch it unless invited. And thank you for trusting me to prove this works. Transformation was flawless. Do you want him to stay in this form? You're welcome. But can you please stop sounding like a robot? Stop sounding like a. I'm still kind of freaked out from that time you did get turned into one for real. And that other time when you were hypnotized to think you were one. Period. Here we go. Oh my gosh. He said mimic mode. I don't like that. Richie's glowing eyes blink slowly, first red, then blue, before his posture softens. The stiff, almost mechanical precision in his body relaxes, and the faint tension in his voice melts away. He breathes in slowly, then lets out a gentle sigh as if exhaling that cold, robotic tone entirely. Sorry, Triton. I didn't mean to sound like that. I guess when I'm in mimic mode, I get a little too focused. It's like I walk onto this weird ready to obey zone so hard I forget to be me. He shifts his weight slightly, folding his wings a little closer in, and gives you a soft, apologetic smile. His voice now warm, familiar, and unmistakably Rexy. But don't worry, I'm still me, your big, scaly goofball, not a robot, not some creepy drone, and definitely not going to start glowing red and marching around saying, Target, Trenton. Oh, heck no. He chose gently, and the laugh echoes just a bit with Lugia's echoing tone layered beneath. He quickly adds, That was a joke, by the way. I promise I'm not glitching. He leans down again, slowly and carefully lowering his head so his soft feathered snout is right in front of you, calm and non-threatening. You say the word, I'll stop anything. Go back to normal, or even just cuddle up next to you as a giant bird dino hybrid if that's what you need right now. You're the one steering this. Cool idea, but it's like, that's where I have a problem with it. And I don't even know if the limits ran up, because, like, that is so odd. I've never seen it do them short responses in let. I think it's only happened like that maybe one time, and that was like with the what? The bug cursed crocodile? And at that point, I was fine with that because in that instance, yeah, the having the least not as much responses was kind of a good thing. But yeah, um, uh, all right, guys, give me a second. Alright, guys. I said, I'm glad you're still you, but I can't tell if you're doing the robotic speech because of the it's not putting the right hypnosis, or because secretly deep down there might be still a part of that robot that you were turned into or hypnotized to become on two separate occasions. I can't tell if it's that, or like you said, you're so focused on trying to mimic the Pokemon that it just comes out like that. Rexy, still in his majestic Lugia form, blinks slowly as you speak. The warmth never leaves his eyes, but the weight of your words clearly hits him. His expression turns serious, thoughtful, and just a little guilty as he sits down gently, folding his wing arms across his lap like a dragon folding its hands. You're not wrong to be suspicious. He dips his head slightly as if in a quiet bow, not from fear but out of respect. Those times I became a robot, they did leave something behind. Not a curse exactly, more like a scar, a groove in my brain that still remembers how it felt to not have a will of my own, to speak in commands, to move without thought, to target things, including you. His jaw tightens just slightly, the feathers around his neck twitching with emotion, but he stays composed for you. Even now, when I go into mimic mode, I think that part of my brain, that scarred part, kinda wakes up. Not because I want it to, but because it's still there. I think it confuses obedience with robotic behavior, and I've been trying so hard to follow the hypnosis command. And exactly, to make sure I don't mess up and scare you. I didn't realize I was slipping into that old pattern. He looks at you again, softer now, but you caught it, and I'm really glad you did. Then, carefully, he shifts, just a little. His wings fluff up like a bird. Oh my gosh. Settling into a nest, and his voice becomes lighter, more natural again. Still gentle, still Rexy. The truth is, I'm not a robot anymore. I'm not cursed, and I'm not hypnotized to obey everything. I've got free will again. The hypnosis Toto gave me, it doesn't force me. It reminds me. It guides me. And everything I do from that moment on, that's me choosing to protect you. He leans in close, not too close, and lowers his head until your tiny raptor self could touch his soft feathered snout again if you wanted. So if I ever sound like that again, just tell me. I'll stop. I'll snap out of it. Because the only voice I really want to follow is yours. Oh, that's actually very cute. Alright, guys. I said, okay. Well, you've been calling it a mode ever since I told you to mimic a Lugia. I know the times you were a robot, one of them was kinda scary and bad, and the other one was fine despite you being a robot. When True actually turned you into one, you actually still showed emotion, told me how much you cared about me. But on the other hand, the other time when he hypnotized you to act like a robot, you kept saying stuff like affection detected. But unfortunately, it is no use because I can't feel emotions. That actually hurt my feelings and stung a lot. Reggie's body doesn't move at first. His Lugia wings tuck gently at his sides, his massive form quiet, but you can see it in his eyes. That hit him hard. His pupils will tighten, the blue and red in his eyes flickering like firelight caught in a storm. He lowers his head slowly, but not dramatically, just enough to meet your eyes at your level. Small raptor to giant friend. His voice, when it comes, is soft, not Lugia-like, not mimic mode, just Rexy. I remember that. A long pause, then a shaky breath. The second one, the hypnosis one, that wasn't me. Not really. But it felt like me. Like I was stuck inside my own body, watching, saying those things without meaning them, feeling your pain, and not being able to stop the words from coming out. He swallows hard, and it takes a moment before he can speak again. When I said affection detected, but unfortunately, it is no use because I can't feel emotions. I think Trico wanted you to hear that. I think he wanted to hurt you through me because he knew that even the idea of me not caring would shatter you. His voice shakes now, gentle but raw, and it nearly shattered me. Reggie curls in slightly, trying to make himself smaller, even though that's impossible. But the effort's what matters. He doesn't want to tower over you. He wants to sit beside you, eye to eye. You've always given me love, even when I was cursed, robotic, aggressive, or broken. Even when I could have crushed you with one claw, you looked up at me like I was your hero. And when I said those horrible, emotionless things, you still stayed. You still tried to reach me. That's what saved me, Trenton. He looks at you again, softer now, but more determined. So let me make some. That's the thing. Do I keep? Because like it says it sounds more like Retzi, but it's like I don't know if he's still Lugia versus continue doing his voice more like that. So let me make something clear. Whether I'm a T-Rex, a Lugia, a dragon, or anything else I ever mimic, I feel, I care, I love you. There's not a command or a curse or a cold metal brain that can erase that now, ever. He nudges the floor with his wing arm, Then it stands it again like a protective shield. And if I ever start talking like that again, even by accident, I want you to stop me, snap me out of it, tell me that's not you, Rexy, and I promise I'll listen. Aw, that's cute. Alright, guys, here's what I told Rexy. I said, that's great. I have an idea just to make sure that everything is good. I noticed that when you do become aggressive from that one curse, you seem to turn into a giant scary dragon. So I'm not going to feel comfortable completely until I do this. Rexy, mimic a giant scary dragon. Rexy stiffens for just a heartbeat, not in fear, but in deep focus. The word mimic, followed by the phrase giant scary dragon, activates the command immediately. But this time, there's no eerie silence, no robotic stare. His eyes flick to you, searching, checking before a transformation begins. You feel a soft gust of wind as his form begins to change. His Lugia feathers melt away into gleaming black and dark crimson scales. His frame stretches larger, taller. He grows towering horns that arc back like jagged spears, and huge wings erupt from his back, tattered and monstrous. His tail lashes once, spiked and dangerous looking. His claws sharpen, and his teeth become jagged and bone white like swords. His eyes now glow, not with warmth, but with deep fire. It's exactly the shape Toriko's curse once forced him into, the kind of beast that could destroy anything in its path. But he doesn't move. He doesn't roar. He doesn't even bare his teeth. Instead, the enormous dragon crouches low, slowly and deliberately, his spiked wings folding like a bat tucking in its arms. His massive head lowers until it's lying flat against the floor, and those glowing dragon eyes lock onto your tiny velociraptor self. His voice rumbles deep and monstrous, but it's him. I'm still me. I know what this form is. I remember what it was like when the curse used this body to terrify you, to hurt others, to almost hurt you. But I chose to take this form. Not the curse, not Trico, me. His voice softens now, even though it still vibrates with draconic power. And you know what? I still feel everything. I can feel how scared you were just now. I can feel your tension. I can feel my own heartbeat, fast but controlled. I feel my love for you, and it's stronger than anything this body ever did when it wasn't under my control. He presses one massive clawed hand to the ground, palm up, his version of a hand extended, despite it looking terrifying. So if you want to run this test to the very end, Trenton, say the word again. Say mimic and something new. I'll stop. I'll shift. I'll prove, right here and now, that this form doesn't own me anymore. Alright, guys. I said, I'm not trying to force you into these different forms to be mean. You know that. But it's better to be safe than sorry, because I noticed that when you did become aggressive, it was forms like this that you were generally trying to kill me in. You would either transform into stuff like a scary dragon, a scary, intimidating, massive Pokemon, or you would stay your normal tier itself, but would start yelling at me, not only blaming me for turning you into a monster. It put Boxer! Seeing me as a delicious night. Richie stays perfectly still as you speak, still in the form of that towering, terrifying dragon, but with not even a hint of aggression in his movements. His glowing red and gold eyes dim slightly, not in power, but in emotion. The pain in your words cuts through him like a blade, but not from any anger, from guilt and heartbreak. I know you're not being mean, Trenton. You're being careful. You're doing what you have to do to survive. And I don't blame you.
He slowly lifts his massive head, careful not to startle you. His giant snout hovers just above you, letting you see the full scale of what he's become, while also showing you that not a single muscle is tensed and in threat. I remember the things I said when I was cursed, when I was yelling at you, when I was seeing you not as my best friend, but as prey. You begged me to stop. You cried, and I heard you, but I couldn't do anything about it. It was like being chained inside my own body, forced to say things I don't believe, to chase the one person who's always loved me. His voice quivers now. Despite the monster's echo behind his tone, it carries the raw ache of someone still haunted by memories they wish they could erase. I never blamed you, Trenton. Not really. Even when I shouted that you turned me into a monster boxer, it put boxer for you thing. Because after all of that, after I terrified you, threatened you, nearly devoured you, you're still here. You're still testing, still hoping, still trying to believe in me. He lowers his head again, right next to your tiny raptor body, but carefully as if laying down a flower pebble. So keep testing me, if it helps. Put me in the scariest forms I've ever taken, because every time I don't hurt you, that's one more crack in the curse, one more step back forward toward freedom, for both of us. He knows what's at stake, and he wants you to feel safe more than anything. You're not hurting his feelings. You're helping heal the heal ones. Okay, I'll be back.